Hey guys, back-to-back video here. I might edit them together. I'm not sure. It didn't work out too well with the other video. So I just kind of segued off on the other video with a topic about car hobby. Again, car talk. What is the ultimate goal here with this electric car moving off of fossil fuels, as they call them, as far as the hobby goes, right? The writing's on the wall. I think you could look to different states, California. I've heard tale of limiting outdoor garden equipment to only electric. I've heard cutting back on emissions on diesel trucks, which for a long time had, like, I guess, a loophole. You could delete a truck and get rid of some of the systems that were on them. And people were going around, especially in Jersey, with just black coming out of the exhaust pipes and whatever. I don't know if that's the soot that they have a problem with in the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide, or if that's just like, an over exaggeration of what's happening. I don't know. I thought methane was worse than carbon. I've heard 100 different stories. But what I'm trying to stay focused on here is, how is it going to affect me and you as car enthusiasts, motorcycle enthusiasts, combustion engine enthusiasts? Are they going to tell us that we got to convert our cars to hydrogen or natural gas? These old cars, are they going to tell us that we could drive them still and we can still get gas, but it's going to be like $12 a gallon? Or are we going to have to like switch all of our hot rods, rat rods, customs, lowriders, mud trucks to electric vehicles? There's a guy I was watching on the internet. He has an electric motor that he has in like an old Mustang. And he's got a couple different kits that you can buy. Chevy small block mounts right to a Chevy Turbo 350 trans. And you could hook up an electric motor and do the batteries. Is that where the hobby's going? Are all these cars going to be worth nothing? Are all these hobby cars that we have going to be outlawed? Can't drive it, not allowed, only on weekends or only after 3 o'clock? They regulate when you can exercise your backup generators. I know that. If the air quality is poor on a certain day, you're not allowed to run generator exercise. So look into it. Diesel generators, natural gas generators. There's some laws in areas, airquality.gov, I think. So, like, are they going to regulate us? Are we going to have to scrap our cars? Are we going to still be able to go to drag strips and fly all this stuff? It's like, is it going to be phased out? If that's the case, I know a lot of people that are going to be pretty much like, all right, I'm not worried about life anymore. I don't want to live anymore without my passions, right? I guess it would be cool to like expand, like have a hydrogen vehicle or electric vehicle, and enjoy that. Because I've seen electric cars go really fast. They have a lot of power. But there's something about the 1940s flathead V8 engine, or my big block 454 that I used to have, or the V8 that I have out there. Everybody's switched over to these LS engines, and they got power, they got aftermarket, they're lightweight, they're high priced. Like a lot of you can get them from junkyards, but like to get the parts and get them right, the computers and all, they have their place. I like them for what they are, but for me, the nostalgia, for the same reason why people, restore neon signs or put up old porcelain signs. Like, I'm a child of the 80s, looking back, growing up on the 70s and 60s and 50s. And pretty much 80s was like the cars we drove, but I always wanted an older car. I always wanted like a 70s or 60s or 50s car. 40s and 30s are a different era, but at the same time, it's all the same. I'm trying to get to the point here is, what are we going to do? Does anybody know? Does anybody have any tips? Is there going to be regulations as far as catalytic converters on cars that didn't have them from factory. Maybe we got to put them on. I mean, I'm all right with that. I'll do that if I have to. I know they kill power, but the alternative is you don't drive a car at all. Hydrogen. Bill Hines had a patent, I think, for a carburetor that got like a ridiculous high mileage fuel during the 70s. And I don't think it ever went through. I mean, I'm all about making the vehicle efficient. Like turbos are cool. You see these little 4-cylinders with turbos on them, and they're pushing power. And they all have their place in the performance car world. But seems like the electric vehicles are happening fast. And I just hope they don't cut out our hobby. Because, I mean, man, it's all over the world. I got it in Australia. Check out Australia. Check out Bad Chad's videos on Bad Chad channel. Him and Jolene went to Australia. And these cars in Australia were something else, man. I mean, I thought for a second, maybe they're putting on a good show here. Maybe, but they were there for like 2 weeks. They filmed a bunch of videos. And every guy had cooler vehicles and better done, better finishes, and like cooler in the sense that like they were right, like the taste was right. It was like a traditional car from a period. They had the right motor control parts. It wasn't just things just slapped together from like Pep Boys and AutoZone and stuff. It was like, not that those places are wrong or bad, but they went and found the vintage speed equipment, things that you can't get. And they were doing work on cars you wouldn't normally see, like Studebakers and Edsels. I saw 40s and 30s cars. I saw an original Willys steel body. The thing must be priceless, dude, with this big Hemi, with the big fuel injection stack sticking out. So where are we heading? If you guys have an answer, please let me know. I'm asking, polling the friends here in the audience. What do you think about combustion engines? And are we going to have 10 years? 10 years would be good. 10, 20 more years, that'd be nice. I'll be 60, 20 years. So I'd like to be doing this until I die. But it seems like everything's going away. Like, share, subscribe, build a hot rod, build a muscle car, build whatever you get into, four-wheel drive, off-road, UTV, ATV. Get into the hobby, man. It's probably one of the reasons why I have everything I have, is that I was focused on a good hobby, wholesome hobby. Didn't get distracted by the negative things in the world that are there to take you down. You just work on a car. You go have a fun time, drive around. You hop on a boat. You fly a plane. Whatever you do. Snowmobile. Maybe that's going to be the new thing I got to look into one day. Thanks for watching.